Hey, this is Matt from InvestiQuant. Today is Wednesday, July 28, 2021. Today's the day of the FOMC announcement, which just came out about 15 minutes ago as of the time of this recording. You can see the market starting to react to that announcement here. This is the S&P in the top left chart. You can see kind of this wide range candle. That's the candle for when the announcement came out. We tested lower and we are starting to push higher now. You can see the Russell up here is trading up near the highs of the day. This is the NASDAQ in the bottom left. It has started to rally as well, not back up to its highs, but in the upper half of its range. And then the Dow over here on the far right has been the weakest all day. It's starting to lift, but it is still trading below yesterday's close and in the bottom portion of the range. But the other three instruments are now trading above the midpoint of the session as we are approaching the final hour and a half or so of trading as of the time of this recording. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to hop into Discover and we're going to look at what has happened historically on this day of the FOMC announcement as we approach the close. So I'm going to select all four instruments. We're going to use a time-based entry that gets long at 3 p.m. Eastern time and will exit at 4:15 p.m. Eastern time. Now, currently, we are trading in the top half of the intraday range, and this makes a fairly sizable difference when you look at this study. So I don't know where we're going to be at 3 o'clock, which is the time I've got this set up for, but we are currently trading in the top half of the intraday range, so I'm just going to go with that and assume that we're still there. If we're not, the stats do change quite a bit, so you'll want to go in here and look at this in the bottom half of the range as well if that's where we end up at 3 o'clock. But next, I'm going to hop into the indicator section. I'm going to say that we are above a 10 and above a 200-day simple moving average. And then lastly, in the market events library, today's the day of the FOMC announcement, so I'm going to grab that from the active today section, which is telling you the things that are true for today. And the market events, the things that are true is it is the FOMC announcement. Let me click there. We've got it added. Now I can click view results. And here we go. These are the results based upon entering the market long at 3 p.m. Eastern time and exiting at 4:15 p.m. Eastern time when you are trading in the top half of the intraday range on the day of the FOMC announcement in a bull market environment. So historically, the S&P has 48 samples here. The NASDAQ has 46, the Dow 48, and the Russell 39 samples. If we look at the win rates on them, the S&P's coming in at 40% of these have closed above that 3 p.m. price. If we look at the NASDAQ, it's 47%, the Dow 48%, and the Russell 49%. So none of them are better than 50-50. A couple of them are just a little bit weak, with the ES being the weakest of the group here, historically speaking. If we look at the average win and average loss, they're pretty similar in size there for the S&P. For the NASDAQ, the average loss a little bit larger. For the Dow, the average loss a little bit larger. And then the Russell, kind of like the S&P, with the similar size average win and average loss. So again, this is if we're trading in the top half of the intraday range. Currently, that's where we are at in 3 of the 4 instruments. The midpoint as of the time of this recording for the S&P is, or for the ES futures, is at 43.90 quarter. So it would need to be above that price at 3 p.m., assuming we don't get range expansion between now and then. And then, like I said, where we are at relative to that makes a big difference. So if we're below the midpoint, I can tell you these stats get quite a bit weaker for all of the instruments, not just the S&P, but they get quite a bit weaker here historically if we end up selling off and trading in the bottom half of the intraday at that time. But that's not what we're at, so I wanted to show you this one because this one, as of now, is more applicable for today. So hopefully you guys found that helpful. Good luck today, and we will see you next time.